I know you're probably not staying long, but do you want wine, water, sparkling water, or anything?
I will have whatever
to drink?
you're having. So.
Well, I have rosé, so I was gonna.
Then I'll have rosé.
When she started to open it, I was like, yes.
No, I'm good. I'm
all
good.
that work.
Which direction is
Hoping to
your...
do it this fall, but
No.
spring. One reason is I can't. I just want all those ideas. So
Architects aren't gonna like you.
I mean, I'm getting new.
Everyone else to do it in a matter of seconds, and
Yeah.
Is there a date yet?
Well, you know,
no
it's
date.
talking about all these cancellations. It's really about finding a venue first.
We think you should do it at the farm.
Little People, Big World Matt Roloff shares big career news. Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. For the latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Little People, Big World spoilers reveal that Matt Roloff is ready to share some big news when it comes to his career. Now that Little People, Big World is officially canceled, fans are concerned about what the Roloffs are doing to make money. Retire for quite some time now. His son, Jacob Roloff, has been helping him as much as possible. Now, Matt wants to show off his new money-making scheme with fans. Let's take a closer look at what he is doing now. Did Matt get a new job? For his age, Matt has been working hard on his pumpkin farm. He tried to sell the farm, but after not getting any offers other than his kids, he decided to try and make money as an airman. He continues to push new events at the farm, and with the help of Jacob, it looks like he is still making good money. However, it seems that he needed to expand his earnings just a little. A lot of the Roloffs have jumped into new careers now that the show is over. Tori and Zach Roloff have been working on their podcast, Raising Heights, and they continue to work on their social media presence. Amy Roloff has been working on her cookbooks and substitute teaching. With everyone pretty much done with television, what is Matt doing now? Matt may be enjoying life without Little People, Big World, and it looks like retirement is great for him. However, he recently filed his annual report for Roloff Properties LLC, and it looks like he still has an active business license. He still has some real estate properties and investments as well, according to this report. Is this how he is making money now? Do you think that Matt is renting out properties to make extra money or selling them? Is this how he stays afloat financially? We would like to hear what you think. We will also keep an eye on Matt and the rest of the Roloff family now that they are not on Little People, Big World any longer. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with Little People, Big World right now. Come back here often for Little People, Big World spoilers, news, and updates. LPBO, Matt Roloff shocks with dramatic new makeover. Many Little People, Big World fans are curious about what cast members like Matt Roloff are up to now that the TLC show is officially canceled. Based on the most recent updates making the rounds, Matt is showing off an all-new makeover. So what did he do this time around? Little People, Big World ended after 25 seasons on the air. The program first debuted in 2006, and many viewers watched the Roloff kids grow up into adults. Once Zach and Tori pulled the plug and decided to call it quits, the writing was on the wall, and an official cancellation soon followed. Despite Little People, Big World ending after season 25, inside sources have said that Matt Roloff was the only cast member who still wanted the show to continue. Matt Roloff is always thinking with a business mind, so in this regard, it's not entirely surprising that he wanted the show to go on. As fans have seen, Zach Roloff and Tori Roloff have been busy with their podcast. Amy Roloff has been keeping busy as a substitute teacher, as well as spending more time with Chris Merrick, and even Matt Roloff recently showed off something new. A lot of Little People, Big World fans are interested in what the family members are up to now that Little People, Big World is no longer on the air. and they no longer have to adjust their lives around a TLC filming schedule. Based on the latest updates from Matt Roloff, he is using this extra free time to change up his look in a big way. Based on the latest social media updates from Matt Roloff, he is growing his hair out, and it's a lot longer than Little People, Big World fans are used to seeing from him. In fact, it's long enough now that he can tie it in the back, and it's something completely different when compared with what viewers are used to. Everyone around him. The man once known for his rugged, farm-worn style had undergone a transformation so drastic it caused an audible pause across the set. Gone were the flannel shirts, the frayed jeans, the work boots covered in soil from years of tending the land. In their place was a crisp, tailored black suit, an open-collared white dress shirt that gleamed in the spring sun, and sleek leather shoes that had clearly never touched dirt. His beard, once a scruffy outline, was now perfectly trimmed and framed his face in a way that seemed to take 10 years off his appearance. His hair, which had often been untamed, was now cut into a modern style with clean lines and a subtle fade. He exuded confidence, a sharp contrast to the more reserved and task-focused version of Matt that fans had grown used to over the years. The crew filming that morning froze, unsure whether to follow him or start rolling. He walked past them without hesitation, nodding briefly before heading toward the barn. Every step seemed intentional. Every movement sent a message. This was no accident. This was a choice, a transformation, a declaration. Word traveled quickly. Within hours, screenshots of Matt's new look made their way to social media. Fans flooded Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit with reactions ranging from admiration to shock. Hashtags exploded. Hashtag Matt Roloff makeover. Hashtag Roloffera. Hashtag Roloff rebrand. Speculation grew. Was he launching a new project? Was this part of a business strategy? Was something personal behind this change? The episode aired the following week, and the network leaned hard into the transformation. Teasers showed Matt walking into the farmhouse, slow-motion shots emphasizing the polished shoes and the newly styled hair. Viewers tuned in with curiosity. When the reveal played in full, there was collective gasping online. Messages poured in. Some called it the ultimate glow-up. Others called it a midlife reinvention. Whatever it was, it worked. People were talking. People were intrigued. Matt Roloff, the farmer, father, and reality television veteran, had rewritten the rules of how one reinvents in the public eye. The episode captured the moment he explained his change. Sitting in a modern chair in a sunlit room, he looked into the camera and said that the time had come. For years, he had given everything to the farm, the show, the legacy. He had spent his days in meetings, in fields, in construction zones. Somewhere along the way, he stopped recognizing the man in the mirror. So he decided to do something radical. He booked an appointment at a top Portland stylist. He went through a consultation, listened to advice, and embraced change. It wasn't about impressing anyone, he explained. It was about feeling good again. It was about aligning the outside with the evolution happening inside. The stylists had documented the process. Cameras followed him into the salon, where professionals consulted with him about skin tone, face shape, wardrobe, and posture. The footage showed him sitting under a cape, laughing nervously, then smiling broadly as the first cut was made. The moment he looked into the mirror after the haircut, there was silence, then a simple, powerful smile. Later, footage showed him walking into a boutique to be fitted for custom clothing. Tailors measured him. Salespeople brought racks of options. He selected blazers, fitted shirts, structured jeans, and shoes that blended rugged elegance with comfort. It was clear this wasn't just a surface-level change. This was a full reset. The reaction among the Roloff family was mixed but ultimately supportive. There was surprise, teasing, and laughter, but also curiosity. The transformation started conversations. Family members began reflecting on their own identities. Had they too gotten stuck in routines? Were they still growing or just maintaining? It wasn't long before other changes followed. Small things, updated wardrobes, health goals, lifestyle shifts. Matt's decision had ripple effects, not just through his family, but through the fan base that had followed him for nearly 2 decades. In the weeks that followed, Matt shared more about his intentions. He wasn't walking away from the farm. He wasn't abandoning his roots. He was honoring them by showing what growth could look like, even after decades of tradition. He began sharing stories from his past, moments that shaped him, challenges he overcame, dreams that he still held onto. A publisher approached him about a book deal. The concept, transformation, resilience, and legacy. He signed the contract. He started writing. The business side of the makeover soon became clear. Roloff Farms was expanding, not in acres, but in influence. A new product line was in development: health-focused snacks, organic preserves, grooming products inspired by Matt's own self-care journey. Branding meetings were filmed. Designers presented mock-ups featuring clean lines, earthy tones, and a new logo. For the first time, Matt's image would be used on the packaging. Not the flannel-wearing, tractor-driving Matt, but the reinvented, polished, confident Matt. A brand ambassador was born. Retailers responded. A major grocery chain signed a distribution deal. Online sales spiked. Media requests increased. Morning shows wanted interviews. Lifestyle magazines requested features. Matt agreed, but with a condition: the story had to be authentic. He didn't want to become a brand without substance. He wanted to inspire people to take control of their lives, to believe that change was possible at any age. The interviews were raw. He spoke about pain, exhaustion, loneliness, and rediscovery. He talked about regret and healing. He talked about how love, self-love, partner love, family love was the fuel for reinvention. Karen stood by him through it all. She too embraced change. New haircut, new wardrobe, a shared vision. They were photographed attending events together, dressed to impress, radiating partnership and confidence. They talked about starting a podcast to explore topics like aging gracefully, maintaining relationships, running businesses, and navigating fame. The pilot episode was filmed in the remodeled section of the farmhouse, now transformed into a sleek studio. The audience loved it. The network gave a green light for a full season. The farm continued to operate, but with renewed energy. Seasonal events were reimagined. Attractions were updated. Guest experiences became more curated. Matt personally greeted guests, dressed in tailored but functional outfits, blending sophistication with approachability. Visitors commented on how inspired they felt seeing someone they'd watched for years look happier, healthier, and more fulfilled than ever before. Photos taken with him became instant favorites. Tour bookings increased. Ticket sales soared. Matt's transformation even sparked a new LPBGov storyline. The production team focused on themes of change, legacy, identity, and purpose. Each episode wove in moments of reflection, challenge, and motivation. Fans saw the real work behind the scenes, the difficult conversations, the doubts, the risks. They saw the contrast between the old and new, not just visually but emotionally. It wasn't just Matt who was changing. It was the tone of the show itself, more intentional, more human, more expansive. Eventually, the questions began. What's next? Would Matt step away from the show? Would he sell the farm? Would he and Karen move full-time into their Arizona home? He didn't answer right away. Instead, he said he was focused on the present. He was building something, inside and out. He was enjoying life again, rediscovering what brought him joy. Travel, creativity, connection. He hinted at a retreat center, a place where others could come, unplug, and rediscover themselves too. Plans were drawn, land was scouted, conversations began. The media continued to follow the story. Matt was named one of the most inspiring reality stars of the year. A long-form profile appeared in a major magazine, calling him a symbol of midlife evolution. Quotes from fans filled the article. One said he gave them hope that it's never too late to find yourself again. Another said they were watching with their parents, using his story as a bridge to reconnect across generations. At the next family gathering, Matt arrived wearing dark denim, a gray cashmere sweater, and his signature smile. He laughed easily, moved with energy, and gave heartfelt toasts. The table was filled with stories, memories, dreams. Cameras captured it all, but for once, the attention wasn't just on the drama. It was on the depth, on the gratitude, on the transformation of not just one man, but of a family, a show, a legacy. Matt walked out onto the porch at the end of the evening, looking out at the sunset over the fields he'd built, the family he'd nurtured, the life he'd shaped. He stood taller, not just because of his polished shoes, but because he had reclaimed himself. The makeover was just the beginning. The real change was in the heart, in the mind, in the spirit. And for Matt Roloff, the journey was only just beginning. Departure in 2018 marked what many thought was a clean break from the world they once shared so publicly. Fans saw them pivot into a lifestyle focused on faith, marriage, parenting, and entrepreneurship. But the couple has recently pulled back the curtain on their post-show life and shared a surprising secret that changes the narrative entirely. What once appeared to be a straightforward exit from reality television has now been reframed by their own words as far more complicated, emotional, and intertwined with the network than anyone realized. When Jeremy and Audrey left the show, they publicly stated that the decision was driven by a desire to focus on their growing family and to pursue projects that aligned with their faith and long-term goals. They quickly launched their blog, podcast, and social media presence under the brand Beating 50%, which centers around encouraging strong, Christ-centered marriages. They wrote books, created devotionals, and even sold planners and journals aimed at helping couples grow spiritually and relationally. But behind all of these moves was a truth they had kept quiet until now: their connection to the network, and the show continued long after they stopped filming. In their recent public disclosure, Jeremy and Audrey admitted that they were still under contract with TLC for some time after their departure from the show. This contractual obligation meant that they were limited in what they could say about the show, their family members, and even the specific reasons behind their departure. It also meant they had to continue negotiating with TLC on projects that were either being developed or discussed. One of the biggest surprises they revealed was that TLC had approached them with the idea of creating a spin-off series focused entirely on their life as a young, growing Christian family. This proposal included following them through the early stages of parenting, home building, and expanding their online ministry. According to the couple, they strongly considered it. During this period, the Roloffs were not fully independent of the television machine they had supposedly walked away from. They were still navigating contracts, producers' interests, and image maintenance. Jeremy explained that one of the reasons they ultimately declined the spin-off offer was because it would mean continuing to live under the same constraints that had already begun to impact their marriage. They would be subject to production timelines, scripted narratives, and public expectations that didn't reflect their real lives. Audrey shared that the decision to say no was not easy, especially when it meant giving up what could have been a stable financial future for their family. But they chose to bet on themselves and their faith, even if it meant walking away from security. Despite not returning to television, Jeremy and Audrey admitted that they were still being offered paid appearances and were asked to participate in family-centered specials or updates. TLC had hoped to keep them loosely connected to the main show, especially since family feuds and farm discussions remained a central storyline. The couple said they received more than one request to appear in episodes where family members would meet to discuss the fate of Roloff farms. Although they considered some of these offers, they ultimately turned them down, citing their commitment to living outside of a manufactured narrative. According to them, This created tension with some family members who didn't understand or support their choice. One of the most compelling parts of their secret revelation was their explanation of how difficult it was to establish an authentic post-show identity. While their online presence appeared polished and purpose-driven, they explained that there was a massive learning curve in how to present themselves without the crutch of producers, editors, and network branding. Audrey shared that their first few months post-show were marked by uncertainty, missteps, and self-doubt. They struggled to define their brand and were unsure if people would follow them without the backing of a network show. Jeremy said they had to relearn how to speak to an audience without scripts or suggested talking points, and that freedom came with pressure. They also revealed the extent to which their exit from the show affected family dynamics, particularly with regard to Roloff farms. For years, fans have speculated about why Jeremy didn't end up with the farm, given his interest in preserving the family legacy. He and Audrey confirmed that they had made several attempts to purchase a portion of the farm after leaving the show. They said they had meetings, put together plans, and even looked at financing options, only to be met with resistance, miscommunication, and ultimately disappointment. Jeremy said he believed the vision he had for the farm didn't align with what other family members wanted, and Audrey added that the emotional toll of that rejection was significant. They explained that being off the show didn't mean being out of the spotlight. They still had to deal with public questions, speculation, and criticism. They were often asked why they didn't return to the show or why they hadn't ended up with the farm. Some even accused them of abandoning the family or turning their backs on the legacy Matt Roloff had built. Jeremy and Audrey said they chose silence for a long time because they were trying to protect relationships and honor contracts. But the longer they stayed silent, the more control they lost over their story. The couple also talked about the pressure of maintaining an online presence that matched the idealized version of their lives. They admitted that it was tempting to post only the perfect photos, the happiest moments, and the best version of their marriage and parenting journey. But they said this pressure was a direct result of the way their lives had been portrayed on TV. They were still performing, even if the audience had shifted from a television screen to an Instagram feed. Audrey noted that this performance was exhausting and that it took a toll on their mental and emotional health. Another aspect of their surprising secret involved finances. Jeremy and Audrey confessed that walking away from the show left them in a place of financial uncertainty. The money they had saved from filming wasn't enough to sustain their lifestyle long-term, and they had to quickly figure out how to monetize their platform in a way that aligned with their values. They experimented with various products, launched courses, hosted webinars, and leaned heavily into affiliate marketing. They said some of these ventures succeeded, while others flopped. They admitted to making mistakes in branding and messaging, but said each one taught them more about who they were and who they wanted to be. They also revealed that they had to reevaluate their relationship with fame. Jeremy said that growing up on TV had given him a distorted sense of normalcy, where every family event was filmed and every decision was public. Audrey said she had to learn how to be a public figure without losing her sense of self. She talked about the emotional labor involved in maintaining a social media presence and the difficulty of drawing boundaries between personal and public life. They both said that fame had become a double-edged sword, offering them opportunity while also demanding constant attention and energy. The couple spoke candidly about how their marriage was impacted by both the show and the transition away from it. They said there were seasons of deep conflict, miscommunication, and disconnection. Without the external structure of filming, they had to rebuild their relationship on their own terms. They credited therapy, faith, and honest conversation as the tools that helped them stay together during those turbulent times. Audrey said that while their marriage looked picture-perfect on TV, the real story was far more complex, filled with highs and lows that never made it to air. They also address the criticism they've received for how they parent and promote their lifestyle. From accusations of oversharing their children's lives to backlash over their religious views, Jeremy and Audrey have been under constant scrutiny. They said they understand that being public figures comes with judgment, but they wish people could see the full picture. They explained that every decision they make is carefully considered and that they try to lead with integrity, even when it's unpopular. Their final revelation involved their hopes for the future. Jeremy and Audrey said they're no longer interested in returning to television in any form, even if it means walking away from lucrative offers. They believe their current path, creating content, writing, building community, and raising their children, is more fulfilling than anything reality TV could offer. They want to continue growing their brand, expanding their homestead, and developing resources for couples and families who want to live with intention and faith. They ended their disclosure with a message to fans: don't believe everything you see on TV or online. They said reality TV captures only a fraction of the truth, and that social media can be just as misleading. Their post-show life has been messy, uncertain, and often misunderstood, but it has also been deeply rewarding. They said the hardest part of their journey wasn't leaving the show, it was figuring out who they were without it. Jeremy and Audrey's story is a reminder that the end of a television contract doesn't mean the end of influence or visibility. It simply marks a transition, one that can be filled with new challenges and revelations. Their surprising post-show secret pulls back the curtain on what it really means to walk away from a world that once defined you. It's not just about stepping out of the spotlight. It's about learning how to live without it and discovering that sometimes the most powerful stories are the ones told when the cameras stop rolling. Jeremy and Audrey Roloff, once prominent stars of the hit reality TV series Little People, Big World, LPBW, have long since stepped away from the camera lights of TLC. But stepping away from reality television hasn't dimmed their visibility or reduced their income streams. In fact, since exiting the show, the couple has leaned hard into the influencer space, gradually building a digital empire rooted in faith, family, entrepreneurship, and authenticity. Today, Jeremy and Audrey are full-time content creators, brand owners, and authors, and they aren't shy about letting their audience in on how they generate their income. As influencers with a loyal following, their income sources range from physical product sales and online courses to affiliate marketing and sponsored content. This deep dive unpacks how Jeremy and Audrey Roloff earn a living through the ever-evolving landscape of digital entrepreneurship. At the heart of Jeremy and Audrey's brand is their shared lifestyle blog, Beating 50%. The blog was created with the goal of encouraging young married couples to pursue relationships that aim to be more than average, with a focus on faith and intentional living. What began as a passion project turned into a monetizable platform. Through this site and its associated channels, they've been able to drive traffic to a number of revenue-generating products and services. Their first big venture was their book, A Love Letter Life, which chronicles their love story and shares insights into creating a lasting relationship. The book was a commercial success and allowed the couple to leverage their message into something tangible. This was soon followed by another publication, Creative Love, which continued the relationship-focused message they'd built their brand on. These book sales, along with paid speaking engagements, podcast appearances, and promotional events, formed the initial layers of their revenue stream after leaving reality television. However, Jeremy and Audrey didn't stop there. Their biggest commercial success to date has likely been the creation of the Marriage Journal, a physical product they designed and sell through their online store. The journal is marketed as a weekly tool to help couples connect emotionally and spiritually. With simple prompts, intentional questions, and guidance on prayer and communication, the journal struck a chord with couples seeking more structure and connection in their relationships. It has become one of their signature products, regularly promoted on their Instagram and in newsletters. Because they fulfill and distribute the product themselves, or at least oversee the process. They maintain high profit margins and complete creative control, which is a huge advantage in the influencer economy. Addition to the journal, the couple has developed multiple print and digital resources. These include wedding planners, devotional guides, date night idea cards, and downloadable PDF workbooks. Audrey, in particular, has curated digital products specifically targeted at women and young mothers. Her curated resources on pregnancy, postpartum life, and motherhood have resonated with her female-heavy audience. These digital products, once created, provide passive income, a key component in the couple's financial strategy. They can be sold over and over again with no additional production cost, making them one of the most lucrative revenue channels. Jeremy and Audrey are also highly skilled at affiliate marketing. With hundreds of thousands of followers between them on Instagram alone, the couple frequently partners with brands to promote products they genuinely use. From home goods and kitchen items to baby products and Christian literature, they routinely share discount codes and affiliate links in their stories and captions. When a follower uses their unique link or code, they receive a commission from the sale. Because their audience trusts them and shares similar lifestyle values, these links are often well received and generate strong conversion rates. They also use their website and blog to embed affiliate links in blog posts, which allows them to earn commissions on web traffic from SEO or Pinterest, even when they're not actively posting on social media. Sponsored content also plays a major role in the Roloff's income. Partnering with brands on sponsored Instagram posts, YouTube videos, or podcast integrations allows them to earn a flat fee in exchange for exposure. These deals are typically negotiated either directly or through influencer agencies. The value of these deals can vary depending on the brand, scope, and audience reach, but influencers of their caliber can command thousands of dollars per sponsored post. Because they've cultivated a wholesome, family-first image, Jeremy and Audrey are particularly attractive to brands in the parenting, home, wellness, and faith niches. They are careful about what they promote, maintaining trust by only partnering with brands that align with their values. Another important piece of the puzzle is their podcast. Although not as prominently featured in recent months, behind the scenes was a weekly podcast hosted by the couple where they discussed marriage, family, and faith. Podcasts can be monetized in several ways, through sponsorships, affiliate promotions, and even donations or memberships. Although the podcast isn't their biggest earner, it served as a valuable platform to build their audience, promote their products, and develop brand partnerships. It also added legitimacy to their voice as relationship mentors, reinforcing their authority in the faith-based lifestyle niche. Physical merchandise is another growing area of their business. In addition to journals and planners, they've expanded into branded apparel and seasonal collections. Items like sweatshirts, beanies, t-shirts, and canvas bags often bear messages of faith, intentionality, or marriage-focused quotes. These merch drops are usually limited edition and time-sensitive, generating urgency and excitement among their followers. With clever design and strategic marketing, merchandise sales have become a reliable stream of revenue, particularly around holidays or special launches. One often overlooked source of income for Jeremy and Audrey is real estate and property development. Since leaving LPBW, Jeremy has expressed a desire to take on more hands-on projects and has shown an interest in craftsmanship and home building. Their recent purchase of a fixer-upper farmhouse has provided them with both content and long-term investment potential. Sharing updates on their renovation journey gives them a steady stream of engaging content for social media, while also increasing the equity of their home. Whether or not they eventually monetize the home itself through rental income or sale, the content it generates boosts their visibility and credibility in the DIY space. This in turn drives engagement and product sales across their other platforms. In addition, Jeremy and Audrey often use email marketing as a critical tool for revenue generation. Their mailing list includes thousands of engaged subscribers who receive updates, product announcements, blog content, and special offers. Email lists are often considered the most valuable digital asset an influencer can own because they are not subject to algorithm changes or social media platform policies. A well-targeted email blast can generate thousands of dollars in sales in a matter of hours, particularly when launching a new product or offering a limited-time promotion. Because of this, the couple has invested time in growing their list through opt-ins, lead magnets, and consistent content. Another way they've quietly made money is through online courses and webinars. While not always heavily promoted, Jeremy and Audrey have hosted occasional online classes and masterclasses on marriage, goal setting, or time management. These paid experiences allow them to connect with their audience in a more in-depth and personal way. Charging a fee for these courses gives them another opportunity to offer value while generating income, and the replay content can be sold as a digital product afterward. Their income as influencers is also indirectly supported by their image and lifestyle, which itself has become a product. Brand identity is everything in the influencer world, and Jeremy and Audrey have curated theirs meticulously. Their neutral-toned home decor, barefoot kids, organic cooking, scripture-anchored marriage talks, and rustic family adventures all contribute to the visual narrative of an intentional, faith-driven life. This consistency makes their posts easily recognizable and aspirational. Because their content is so on-brand, each post, whether it's a cozy family dinner or a photo of their kids playing outdoors, serves a dual function. It strengthens the brand while simultaneously warming up the audience to future offers, products, or sponsorships. Their ability to turn their family life into a business model is a testament to the evolving nature of modern entrepreneurship. What might look like simple lifestyle documentation is actually strategic content marketing. By blending authenticity with business acumen, they've built a diversified portfolio that includes physical products, digital resources, affiliate links, sponsored posts, merchandise, real estate, email marketing, and personal branding. Each channel complements the other, allowing them to maintain a balanced and consistent income stream that isn't solely dependent on one source. It's also worth noting that their long-standing fan base from Little People, Big World plays a foundational role in their success. Many of their followers have been invested in their story for over a decade, watching their relationship bloom from young love into a growing family. This long-term connection creates a level of trust and emotional investment that is difficult for newer influencers to replicate. Jeremy and Audrey understand the value of this loyalty and continue to nurture it by remaining transparent about their lives, their struggles, and their faith journey. This emotional transparency not only builds credibility but enhances engagement and conversion rates, vital factors in any influencer's revenue formula. Looking ahead, it's likely that Jeremy and Audrey will continue to expand their empire, whether that involves writing more books, launching a new podcast, releasing a documentary series, or even starting a subscription-based community. They've shown that they have both the vision and the audience to scale. Their success isn't just about being ex-reality TV stars, it's about learning how to build something enduring from that fame. They have evolved from being simply personalities on a show to being business owners, creators, and digital mentors. In conclusion, Jeremy and Audrey Roloff have successfully transitioned from reality TV to full-fledged influencer entrepreneurs by tapping into a value-driven, purpose-focused model. Their income comes from a well-orchestrated blend of product sales, affiliate marketing, sponsorships, merchandise, real estate, online courses, and content creation. Through intentionality, authenticity, and strategic marketing, They've built a multi-channel business that aligns with their personal values